Time to put the kids to bed. It's rated IDP with Nate, Coach, and Dougie.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rated IDP Live. It's Friday night. I'm joined tonight by the co-host, Dingus4. We got a couple of new guys on tonight there, Coach. How you doing, buddy?
Let's see here. I spent about 2 hours in the dentist today, getting needles shoved like halfway up my nose through my gum line. And then...
Wait, didn't you say dentist?
Dentist, yep.
Oh, man.
You gotta love it. You gotta love when those happen. So the face isn't quite. So I'm not having a stroke, in case anyone's wondering when we go live here. It's not a stroke that I'm having. It's just my face is drooping still and still half frozen. And then I'm on a cold and flu medication here. So whenever Stoney joins us, I might be the one that looks more stoned than anyone tonight. So.
Touche. So, as Coach said, his mustache is not trying to run away. He's just been doped up today. So, thanks for being a tough co-host there, Coach. Tonight, I'm joined by the GOAT. Everybody knows Mike. I'm going to go right down here to my good friend and new co-host of Wrap It Up Pod that we just finished a while ago. A good friend of mine, LA, Mr. Lamont. What's up, buddy? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you doing.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Ahmad. Go by Lamont. Also go by Pod. I got a couple of nicknames, but I'm new into this whole thing. You know, hopefully everything goes well. It's great to finally meet you guys. I'm a big fan. You know, I've seen or entered when you guys are doing episodes and stuff. And Mike, I follow you, you know, quite thoroughly. I look up to you and stuff. But I've been playing fantasy football for 10 years, and I really like that. I'm pretty addicted. I love numbers and stuff. I play fantasy basketball, baseball, hockey, everything. I live in Southern California, you know, close to Long Beach and stuff. I'm a huge Chargers fan. I'm glad that they moved around here. I live literally 20 minutes away from where they play their home games and stuff. Sucks what happened last night, but it is what it is, you know. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds, but yeah, that's basically it, you know.
Is it did they give away them tickets in like Burger King meals? Like how do you get a ticket to that place? I heard the parking could set you back like 3 times as much as even like the best ticket. Like I heard it's insane, LA.
It's crazy. It's worse at the Rams games, but at Chargers games, it's the parking is not as bad. But what I used to do is I park about a mile or two away at the Buffalo Wild Wings. That's down the street, and then I walk to the stadium, and it takes about 30 to 40 minutes. You know, that's the best way, and then I just walk back. But I went to one Rams game when they played the Saints, where Drew Brees got hurt, and I actually got hooked up with some parking from right around the corner. There's like neighborhoods where they'll let you park in their driveway or backyard in front of their house, and then you know you give them like $40 or something to look after your car and stuff. And you know if you get hooked up that way, it's a good deal. But at first it was like $200, you know, for parking. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, buddy, I'm glad to have you on, and you know I know you said you knew Mike and you follow his work and stuff, and that's the best thing that's what I love about Rated IDP Live. I love connecting new people to you with a great mindset to some of my older friends like Mr. Mike. I think he's going on 76 years old. Before we get to him up there. Let's get to my buddy Stoney before he loses signal again down there in the equator. Yeah, are you with us, Stoney?
I think I'm in the hot spot, the only spot in my house that seems to work.
Hey, buddy, coming loud and clear on this side.
Can you guys even hear me?
I got you.
We got you.
Loud and clear.
So everybody,
I don't know how I'm
this
in
is my buddy.
Virginia and I
This is
have
my buddy
worse
Tony.
service than you in Oklahoma.
Hey man, what I did, I got 3 kids on top of the roof holding up coat hangers.
Y'all
So,
hearing me at all?
Yeah, we got you.
You can't hear us. You can't hear us apparently.
I got some weather issues at home as well as crappy internet here.
Right on, buddy. Well, hey, get it taken care of and jump back on with us, man. We can hear you good. So if you can figure out just how to hear us, we'll get you back on. Mike, how's it been going, man? I know I've been seeing the waiver articles, the weekly articles. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. You know, obviously football season hasn't gone the way I thought it would be here in Cleveland, but fantasy-wise, not too bad. Like we've been saying earlier, you know, you got those leagues that kind of fall by the wayside, and you know, we're hitting. I can't believe we're already in week 10. We're hitting double digits. So, but yeah, things are chugging along. Things are chugging along.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us. Man, it's just I've seen so many people on Twitter today that's bummed out. I was feeling kind of bummed out myself. Not sure why. The season's winding down. We should be sad, excited, and it's winding to an end, making the playoffs. But it just seemed like a lull. And I figured, maybe it'll make 1 or 2 people smile tonight jumping on Rated IDP Live. You know what I mean? So thanks for joining us, man. LA Coach, man. Thank you guys for jumping on. Maybe some, like I said, maybe bring a smile to a couple people. So
Yeah.
Coach, everybody's favorite segment. We could probably change the name to the show to just ding us down a distance if everybody wants to, and just turn it off after that, because that's all I hear about. Licking ice cream and sweet teas. Let's do it this week, brother. I can't wait. I've been ready, man. It's been like 2 weeks and I heard one. Ready.
So I got a home league I'm in. And everyone knows home leagues are the best. You know, we got a golf tournament that comes with this, and then we end up doing the live draft, and someone's guaranteed to get hit over the head with some drywall at some point during the show, and bottles are flying across. It's like everything you could possibly dream of going on. But full disclosure, this league still uses kickers, so it's got its issues too. But that's not where I'm going. So this is a league that is stated as you can only have 2 QBs rostered.
Okay.
You can only have 17 players total rostered, so it's really short benches.
Mm-hmm.
Some jackass, I hope he's watching, to be honest with you, had Jimmy Garoppolo on his team last week, so when the 49ers were playing on Thursday Night Football. And, Mike, we talked off air here about hitting that Week 10 wall. And it happens. You forget to put guys in, et cetera, et cetera. But you remember, you're only allowed 2 quarterbacks. So this guy forgot to put Jimmy Garoppolo in, and Jared Goff was on a bye.
Okay.
So what he did is he went and he cried. And he found a trade partner for Jimmy Garoppolo and traded Jimmy Garoppolo for Baker Mayfield after the Thursday night game had been played.
Okay.
To me, that is an invalid roster because you have essentially taken up 3 quarterbacks for that week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I don't make a big stink of things, and it just happens he was playing me that week too. Now, again, full disclosure, my team sucked. Everyone shit the bed, and I don't deserve a victory in any way, shape, or form, but it's on principle here. So I decided to stir the pot a little bit because that's what I like to do in the leagues. It's a home league. You got to bust everyone's balls, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of throw this out right off the get-go. I go, so when do we start allowing trades with players who have already played? To my knowledge, any transaction with a player who has played a game for the week must wait until Tuesday, and I'm sure that has been the case in the past. Just curious if this is a new process. Trying to, throw that olive branch out there and trying, not stir it too much, but poke the bear a little bit, see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did I get a shitstorm come after me of that? Everyone's to this guy's rescue, Oh, we get busy. It was Halloween, this and that. And they're throwing all these. That's no excuse, man. I got like 20 leagues I'm in. I've got 9 kids here. I'm like Philip Rivers I'm like the Great White North version of Philip Rivers here. I got 9 kids running around here at any time, plus grandkids. Everything's going on. Plus, I had to do the Halloween thing. Plus, I got 3 kids that are playing travel hockey or in hockey. Yeah, I'm busy too. Not to mess. I can't even talk properly now. I'm starting to get heated up already, and I'm kind of numb on one side of my face. I've got 20 rosters going on, and I know for a fact there's guaranteed at least once a week one of those rosters is going to have an inactive player, and I'm going to take a 0. And there's no way I'm going to the commission and go, you know what? I missed my guy. Can you go put someone else in for me? No, it doesn't happen. The responsibility is on you as an owner to have a valid roster. It doesn't matter how busy you are. It doesn't matter when you hit that wall. It's for the integrity of your league, especially if you're in a home league. If you're in a league with a bunch of guys that you've met over the internet and you're, some Yahoo league or an ESPN league that you're playing for free, not a big deal. This is a big money league. There's big dollars on the line. Yeah. Like, to get into the playoffs, only top 6 teams make the playoffs, and you're playing for a purse of almost $1,000. It's a big deal. If you cannot put a proper roster together, in my opinion, and I put it out on Twitter, and 65% of people agreed with me, and I think 20% of the people who didn't agree with me said he would have had to drop Jared Goff, who was on his bye, and pick up another quarterback, which would have been acceptable also for me, because I do believe that was an option. But to be able to play Baker Mayfield, so he ended up trading Jimmy Garoppolo for Baker Mayfield and starting Baker Mayfield. Well, the points that Baker Mayfield ended up beating me that week, which you could have put just about anyone in that week, they would have beaten me. But that's, again, not the point. And this is the week we have double headers every week. So by making that trade, the guy gets to go 2-0 that week because he got Baker Mayfield in his lineup. He gets to go 2-0 for that week for having what I would deem as an invalid roster.
Yeah, that. Well, I mean, you treat players that have played like, when you do a waiver wire, when you do an ad drop, you can't drop anybody that's already played, that's already locked.
Correct.
So anybody who has played is locked, can't be traded. So that I'm fully on board with. I'd be up to.
Yeah, and Chris, Chicago Sports Nut here, 25, kind of goes, the question is, would you have won had he had 0 at quarterback? Yes, I would have won if he had a 0 at quarterback. He only beat me by, I think, 6 points that week. And Baker, I think, had 18 last week, I think he had 18. So, yeah. So I'm a little choked there, but like I said, my scoring that week, I had like 70 points total. So usually to win in this league, you need about 110. So I'm not so bitter about the actual loss because I probably would have lost to everyone but him that week. But the fact remains, there's money on the line. You have to put your lineup in. And I'm sorry, if you forget to put someone in, that is on you. That's not on anyone else. That is on you. And then, of course, the commission goes, well, if you don't like it, then you can commission next year. Well, just say tell them to drop a player. That's all you would have to do. You did not. Because in this league, the commission has to approve the trade. So the commission actually approved this trade to go through. And now he's getting a little pouty because, of course, I'm calling him out on it because I've been known to be vocal a time or two. But again, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting worked up for nothing. But it was kind of, I'm reading these comments kind of coming through here and there. And I was pretty cool. I was pretty cool at first. Kind of just poking the bear. I wanted to have some fun. And then someone actually goes, oh, where's that comment? I'm going to lose my mind here. I can't remember what it was. But they kind of took a little shot at me. I'm like, okay, gloves are off now. If you're going to take a little shot at me on this one, and this guy's like best buddy. Like, I'm pretty sure they like touch each other in the shower and stuff after, which is cool. I got no problem with that, just for the record. But it's to me, any league you're in, you have to have the integrity of the league in mind on anything you do. And the right play in my mind would have been to drop Jared Goff, who was on bye, and pick up Ryan Tannehill or Mason Rudolph or whoever the options were at that time. And the thing is, if he picks up Ryan Tannehill, he wins. Fair enough. But I'll tell you what, I'm using my whole fab, and I'm grabbing Jared Goff just because I can.
Oh, I would too. Yeah,
No, just
I would too.
out of spite, I would have grabbed Jared Goff just to be that guy. Because the gloves are off especially in your home league. The gloves are off. There's no friends in the home league.
Yeah, especially with that type of money on the line. I for sure.
So
and then you get into Twitter and you get all these mean people and stuff, and you go back to your home link like, you're not so mean after all. After I've been on social media.
So
everything. Real life is a daycare center compared to when you get on Twitter. Jesus,
yeah, right.
Jesus.
So in that league, if I would have got the win, I would be 11-7 as opposed to 10-8. Which doesn't make a whole big difference, but that's the difference between being in technically third place and being in sixth place, the last playoff spot. So that has huge implications there.
11-7. When did the league start?
We play double headers every week.
Okay.
So you have to play. You got 2 games every week. So like even right now, my all-play record is 60-39.
That's right.
But I'm only 10-8 right now.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just kind of my little venture because it bothered me. It still bothered me. And then the more people started chiming in, I'm like, the roster should be locked. You should not be able to. It's an invalid roster. You were essentially rostering 3 quarterbacks because even the quarterback you traded cannot be used by anyone else now because he's already played the game.
Yeah,
right.
Treat those. You got to treat locked players like they can't be touched. Like I said, when you go to perform an ad drop on a Friday or Saturday, you can't add people that have already played, and you can't drop people that have already played. Those people should not be allowed to be traded. Also,
Coach, I believe that question's up there at you, buddy, about your down and distance, bud. We got a question there from Shy Sportsnut 25.
Oh yeah.
The question is, would you have won? Did you already hit that? My apologies. Yep. Okay. Sorry everybody. I had to run outside, meet the vet, go stick a needle into a calf because it was sick. I'm back. My apologies. Did Stoney never meet it back?
No, there was a little bit here from Stoney. Hey guys, I feel terrible. Laptop hasn't been working, so he's having some connection issues there.
It's all good. Hey, we know all about that, don't we, Coach?
Oh yeah.
First
Doug,
time we tried to.
Between the polar bears up here and the possums down there, we got everything kind of going on there for internet.
Yeah. Don't feel bad, buddy. Don't feel bad. The clouds will come over right. The skies will part, and one day you'll have beautiful service, man. I don't know how it works. It's just life, I guess. I don't know. You know, that's what I got to tell them. That's what I got to tell all them kids in there sometimes. I don't know what to tell you. It's life. I'm sorry. Shit happened. Sorry.
Hey, Dougie, who's bringing us Dingus Down in Distance this week?
That is brought to you by myfantasyleague.com. The most customizable fantasy site in the game. You can have all your flashy little icons, shooting lasers and stuff at each other so you can see your matchup points up there. You can do all that you want. I'll take the people that I can say I got a problem, and literally within 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, they'll say, hey, looking into it right now, get back to you shortly. Something. Anyway, the only league that I've ever went to, because they're just down to earth. It might not have the best graphics and might not the coolest website, but it works. It works. Okay? It works. myfantasyleague.com.
Yeah, so we gotta make sure we get these in because usually our pilot, the guy who drives the ship here, he's away from us today, and I'm stuck here trying to do the production here. Mm-hmm. We know how that always goes. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I just had a 3.5-inch needle in the ass end of a calf. You know what I mean? My bad. You know what I mean? I think it might have been statementgames.com. Both of them, great places. I'll get into statement games later.
It's a heck of a Friday.
Oh yeah, that's normally just a 4:30 and Tuesday morning, but here we are.
If you've never had a 3.5-inch needle coming out of your ass, then you've never really lived.
I need to go live.
I'm gonna put that on my bucket list. I'll take care of that next week.
Well, it's funny. So while we're talking about large needles sticking out of body parts, I've had 2 hip surgeries. And one of the things before my hip surgery is they wanted to give me a cortisone shot. And I was like, okay, I've had cortisone shots in my shoulder, my knee, no big deal, right? All right. Well, when I got in there, I wasn't quite expecting where they were going to shove this needle. They actually went into the front part, right about here somewhere.
Whoa.
The needle was like this, man. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, you could have stuck a walnut between my cheeks. I would have crushed that thing.
No, hey, true story. As everybody knows, I have a lot of kids, right? So after the first couple, it's like going to the movies. I hope wife don't watch this. God dang it, I'm gonna get divorced. But anyway, I was out there in the hallway, watching the game on my phone for about the last 4. And I walk into the room, and Coach, she's getting one of them shots in the middle of her back.
Oh, yeah, those are fun.
Hey, I woke up to the nurse going, "Are you okay?" And my pregnant wife is holding my hand. I'm down on the ground, and the pregnant wife's holding my hand down here on the ground, patting my head, going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
So I'm no doctor, but I've been around the surgery table more than a few times in my life, like 7 knee surgeries, 2 hips, a bicep, just about everything you can imagine. So one of my last knee surgeries I had them to give me a spinal so I could watch the surgery. So, it was fantastic. You got to watch that.
Hey, man. After this show turns off, if you want to talk to me about anything, just get anything of it, because that's
I'm also the same guy. I'm the same guy that actually goes onto YouTube before my surgery, and I watch the surgery get performed ahead of time, so I know what's going on before I get in there, right? So
yeah,
I wouldn't recommend that for the squeamish.
Hey, look at LA down there. LA is like, I'm on a podcast with a serial killer. I am on a podcast with a serial
killer. No way. You guys are very entertaining. This is all
right. For the main topic of the show tonight, we're just going to get in here to get out tonight. We picked some spirits up. So for the main topic tonight, I wanted to look over the top 5 linebackers in fantasy points. Let's do safeties, linebackers, defensive ends, and then I want to have LA hit on the running backs for us, and we'll say our goodbyes and get out of here. Does that sound good, guys?
Yep.
Hey, I'm good for whatever now.
For the scoring, we're going to use the Pod Wars League. 2 losers made this league and got a bunch of other losers to join it, and I love the scoring in it. So we're going to use it. And let's kick it off, guys, let's start with linebackers. Everybody loves them linebackers. Let's get at it right here. And I'm just going to read off the top 5 and then go around the room, and we'll see who you're buying, who you're selling, or who you're holding. So here we go at number 1 in the Pod Wars League. Let's light the fire early, boys. Jamie Collins.
Jesus. Now, this is where I know we're going to go through the top 5, but right now, this is where I have to put a timeout on the scoring when Jamie Collins is your number 1 linebacker.
Well, in Jamie Collins' defense, he had a 30-point week in week 2, a 30-point week in 3, and a 42-point week in week 8. Outside of that, it's been pretty consistent there. So he's had 3 big weeks to kind of boost those numbers up.
Yep, and just for the record, that 42-point game, the guy had 12 tackles.
13, yeah, 13 tackles and 1.5 sacks.
Only one of them was an assist. So, I mean, even if you don't like the guy and you hate him at number 1, 42 points with 13 points. Hey, Mike, the guy deserved to get some damn points, bro.
Yeah, revenge game against the Browns. He has the motivation.
Yeah, revenge game. Yeah, that's what everybody's been saying about the Patriots until they met a real team in the Baltimore Ravens, and then they ran right down through them. But, okay.
Thank you.
wrapping up. Go ahead, Coach. Come on, let's go. Let's get into it. That was terrible. There is. I've seen college FCS teams defend a RPO better than the Patriots did that night.
I've been saying this about the Patriots since week 1 or week 2. When they started, everyone's talking about them being a top defense, this and that. And I know people make the argument that, they're playing NFL teams. NFL teams are good offenses no matter what. But they hadn't played anyone yet, in my opinion. And I bang that drum. You don't bang that drum on Twitter because there's a lot of Patriots fans out there. They're like 12 and 13 years old, but they're mean, man. Those mean 12-year-olds.
Yeah, they mean. They mean as hell, man. They mean as hell.
The schedule.
Like after this show, hey, I'll give you LA. I'm gonna give you a little tip. As soon as we get off here, you might as well just go to Twitter and go to mute Patriots because they coming after us, buddy. We gonna get. Do you have anything to say about this, Mr. LA?
Tom Brady is like my favorite athlete of all time.
Oh, that.
Of course.
Yeah, but Tom Brady doesn't play defense, so we're not going there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate for them. It's all good and stuff, but we'll see what happens now. They had a true test against the Ravens and stuff, but I can understand the hate for them.
I still couldn't tell you who the top 3 teams in the AFC. I still couldn't do that. I can still tell you that the Patriots are number 1. I still got them 1. I sit here and talk crap about them.
They're still 1.
And they're still my number 1 team in the AFC. So.
I think that the last 4 teams that go to the conference championships and stuff, a lot of it's going to have to do with the defense that will imply and everything. But we also have to remember Pat Mahomes is coming back this week, and if he is really 100%, I mean, there's a good chance that they'll just steamroll right into the playoffs. And I think bye week is going to make a really, really important deal because also
here's the big question: did Harbaugh give too much away? Did Harbaugh give too much away to Bill Belichick, the best coach I've ever seen, I've ever watched? So they beat. Is there too much to watch on them that they're good at now?
For sure.
I mean, the guy is going to dissect that. He's still dissecting it. I mean, he's not watching Rated IDP Live. He might be on them houseboats with them honeys, how he got them nice ones. But the guy's going to obsess over that game tape. I guarantee it. And I'd put money on the Ravens not beating them if they meet again anytime in the future. I'll put money now that they won't beat the Pats.
Well, and here's the thing. No one's ever knocking the Patriots as a good team. What I've been saying is their defense has been overrated and hadn't really taken a shot from a contender yet, so to speak, as far as an offensive team goes. The Ravens are still not what I would consider one of the top offenses in the league either. They're not. They're not a Kansas City. Heck, they're not even an Oakland Raiders. Let's call it the way it is. Oakland runs the sixth most efficient offense in the league, and that's the numbers back that up. So now you got Lamar Jackson. He's a game breaker. He changes the game so much for everyone, right? You can't sit back and play zone because he will. He'll dissect the zone. He's good enough of a passer to hit guys sitting down in the zone. And you play man, you can't turn your back on him. Good Lord, no, you cannot turn your back on Lamar Jackson because he'll just run right up there and you won't even catch him. Some of those plays that he was making against the Patriots were very Michael Vick-esque, if I may. And that's a huge compliment.
You ain't even mentioned Mark Ingram. The guy's been freaking stellar for him, right?
He's got that burst. He's still really good. Very efficient.
Wasn't there a really crappy team? I can't remember. There was a really crappy team that beat the Ravens early in the season. Who was that? Yeah, that's right. The Browns. The Browns beat the Ravens earlier on the season.
In their yard.
In Baltimore. So,
and that seems like a lifetime ago, though.
I was trying to get the videos made. That was what I wanted to bring up on Wrap It Up, was for people not to overreact, because Baker Mayfield works on passion and rhythm. And man, he's got happy feet, Mike. He's got happy feet. And whenever they was clicking, there was no happy feet. He was throwing guys open. Now he's not throwing nobody open. Like, it's just, I don't think they're I don't know, man. The play calling is completely different, ain't it? It's completely different, right?
It seems that way. He seems to be not skittish, but I don't think he's confident with the reads, and he's just not accurate. And he's not playing well. And I don't think it's just, I didn't take into account that there would be some growing pains with the rookie coach, because he's certainly made plenty of mistakes. I really don't have much. I was just flabbergasted. If you'd have told me at this point the Browns were going to be 2-6, I would have been like, okay, when did Baker get hurt?
Yeah. Yep. Same here. I
have a strange theory. I think that maybe David Njoku's injury might have caused, an effect on like their offense falling apart, because he got injured week 2 against the Jets early into the game, and he hasn't came back ever since. I'm not sure. I think he's on IR. But basically, they only have 2 receivers right now. They have OBJ and Jarvis Landry. And if you look at their targets, OBJ has 67 targets. Jarvis Landry has 67 targets as well. And then it's a steady drop to Nick Chubb third with 32 targets. Antonio Callaway with 15 targets. I think Antonio Callaway got suspended for 4 games, and Rashard Higgins got hurt. So there's just a lot of different factors that are playing. And, they're really going to have to go after an offensive lineman. Who was that one guy that you mentioned earlier, Thomas?
They got Trent Williams, didn't they?
No.
They didn't get Trent Williams? Who got Trent?
No, he's still in Washington. He's still in Washington.
Yeah.
What?
He's got like a
They found out he got cancer. They found out he had like a brain tumor.
Whoa.
2013.
Oh yeah.
The Washington Redskins have had this guy on the team, and they didn't know he had a brain tumor?
Yeah, they mucked this whole they mucked him up bad.
Oh,
and now they're not going to pay him.
And now they're not going to pay him.
That's so terrible.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, man! Trent Williams. If you and I come down to Oklahoma, buddy, I'll feed you. You sit here on the couch, buddy, watch some TV. You ain't got to do nothing, man. I take care of you, Trent. Come on down to Oklahoma.
Okay, since we're already off the rails here after Jamie Collins, thank you. Go figure. Jamie Collins gets us off. So since we're already off the rails here, I got a couple questions coming in from Jordan P. Riley. One of the things we like to do with the Rated IDP is we like to get these questions out right away. So if you have a question, fire it over to us and we'll get to it, and then we'll jump back in because we'll
shut her down. We'll shut her down.
We're fantastic about getting off the rails and somehow getting back on by the end of the show. So it's kind of a 2-part.
LA said, "What should I expect?" And I said, "Don't expect shit."
I've always tuned in to plenty of episodes. I know what's up, man.
Yeah. All right, fire away, Coach.
Okay, so Jordan P. Riley asks, "Hey guys, what do you look for in a DL? I've been trying to find some diamonds in the rough." And it continues on the waiver wire, but it's tough. I feel like pass rushers are probably valuable. Any other tips? Scoring. Know your scoring. We always go back to that.
Know your scoring. Know your scoring. Target guys. If you can find sites that deliver or that can show pressure rate, target the guys that are getting the pressure rates. That are nice, that are basically efficient. You're not going to get points for hits or hurries, but more times than not, the defensive linemen that are generating the most pressure, they're eventually going to get their sacks. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. You can look at the box scores, but with defensive linemen, you're going to be way up and down. It's going to look like a massive cardiogram that someone got a heart attack. So. Target the guys that, like I said, have pressure rates. If you can, look at weekly matchups and target horrible offensive linemen.
Like the Chargers.
Yeah, I wrote up Benson Mayowa in my article this week because he had time on Trent Scott, and I think he ended up with a few tackles and a sack and a half. So pressure rate and really bad offensive lines.
Yeah, I think you hit a lot of that on the head there. The other one I would throw in there.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
The other one I'd throw in there, you said the offensive line, pressure rates, and then just snap counts too. You find those high snap guys that are going to be on the field for you. Opportunity is always the main thing, no matter what, right? And like, you always want to try and be ahead of the curve. Clellan Ferrell was a good example this week. You should have tried to trade for him, knowing that the Chargers had a weak line. If there's a get right game for Clellan Ferrell, it was the Chargers, and he gets them again this year. Same with Max Crosby. So.
Another little tip in some of the deeper stuff, look for somebody that's opposite of the superstar. Look for somebody that's opposite of the superstar, or look for superstars of replacement. I could relate it a lot to running backs. The way you pick out running backs is the way I like to go about my defensive ends, man. I really like my defensive ends. I've shifted more to D ends than I used to be linebacker strictly, man. Just loaded at linebacker. Now I kind of shifted to my D ends, man. And I think it's some of the similarities there. So look for guys because the double team will come from the strong side on the strong pass rusher, and maybe the guy on the weak side can get a few more hits on the quarterback. So another little tip there.
Oh, hang on. Paging Dr. Turner. There
he is. I told him just surprise me.
Yeah, no, he was just throwing in there just confirming that Njoku is on the IR and that whole bad situation.
Tell him I'm getting. Never mind. I'll tell him right now, Coach. There's no reason for him to be on Twitter typing when he could just click a button and get on here and tell us with his words of mouth.
No problem, Jordan. There, we're glad to have you throw out some questions. So thank you for hitting us up. So moving along here, because I don't want to keep talking about Jamie Collins here. Dougie, who's number 2 in that Pod Wars? He's on your roster.
I just told you I'm talking shit to ET. Well, hold on. No, I'm just playing. I got it. Jordan Hicks, number 2 in scoring with 176.5. Jordan Hicks. His biggest game of the season has been 33.5. Jordan Hicks, fellas. You buying? You holding?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I liked Hicks at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
In Arizona, with Hicks, it's always been a matter of health. If he, in Philadelphia, he was put up efficient tackle rates, but was just never healthy. So now he's in Arizona. He's basically the only healthy linebacker, not healthy, but basically the only linebacker that Arizona has. So he's getting all of the tackle share. So he's an LB1 and someone I am buying, holding, all of it.
Took the words out of my mouth. LA, any thoughts on Mr. Jordan Hicks, buddy?
Yeah, I would probably hold on to him too, because if you look at his remaining schedule, he's going against some pretty good offenses. And if these offenses are going to keep their defense on the field, and he seems to have a lot of good his floor for solo tackles, it's pretty high. So you have 7, 8, 5, 8, 3, 4, 4, 6, 7. And so his remaining schedule is the Bucks, the Niners, the Rams, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Seahawks, and those are all some pretty good offenses that were, he's going to be on the field for quite some time each game.
Well, I'd like to take that even a step further there, because Lamont's going to talk about some running backs a little bit later, but when you look at that lineup down the stretch, probably 75 to 80% of those teams have a good running back or a strong running game.
Mm-hmm.
Or they pass over the middle, shallow, and stuff like that. So he's going to have lots of opportunities to get rack up tackles.
I mean, he's already got 90 tackles, so he's it's insane.
So just for a little recap, because yeah, we always go off the rails. Jamie Collins, coach, buy, sell,
Yeah.
hold.
Sell. If you can get
Doug
something for him, sell him.
Yep. Doug Bevels, I'm selling too. Mike, you selling?
Selling.
LA, you selling?
Yes, I will.
Jordan Hicks, coach, you holding?
He's a hold for me. I don't know if I'm buying yet, but I'm definitely holding if I have him. I'm not selling him at all. So I'm either holding or thinking about buying, depending on the price.
He's a piece that I just recently pulled off a couple of trades that I was giving up a little bit less of offensive talent, and I included that Jordan Hicks linebacker because I was weak at that LB3 spot, that LB4 spot that, bye weeks got me in a bind. So I really don't remember what it was, but I was taking a little hit on the offensive side. It wasn't much, but I asked him for Jordan Hicks, gave him back a 2024, I think. We made a deal. So maybe somebody you can just like add in the deal that, just to add to an offensive deal. So, all right. So, LA, what about Jordan?
I'm going to hold on to him because I like the remaining schedule. But do you guys mind if I ask a question real quick? Where do you guys think Devin White would be in fantasy points? If
hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. We will get to Mr. Devin White. And we will also, I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy. Hey, I love it. I see where you at. Because Mr. Eric H., I see you down there, EH, the IDP Rookie of the Year. I think we'll get into that in very shortly. So I'm gonna hit that real fast. Blake Martinez, Mr. Mike Waller. This is a guy that I'm gonna be honest with you. Put him in my ranks for last year. Kept him in my rank, down in the bottom. I didn't ever want to move him up. He's my LB1. He's my dynasty linebacker one. There, I said it, Mike Waller. It's Blake Martinez.
He's been an elite linebacker for the last couple of years. And again, pretty much a similar situation to Arizona. He's really the only linebacker that is used in every down. Everybody else is coming off the field. He's not. He's their play caller. Wears the dot, calls the plays, gets the tackles. High efficiency tackle rate. He's someone that'll probably is always going to produce anywhere between a 14 to 15% tackle rate. Is not going to leave the field, and he just makes plays. There was a couple of play he made just a couple of weeks ago. He diagnoses, hits a hole, makes a tackle, and he doesn't miss, which is also very important. So,
and this is
Blake Martinez is really a hold.
Right. And I did this with the first two. Coach brought up a 42-point game with Jamie Collins. I brought up a 33.5 game for Jordan Hicks. Let me tell you something about Mr. Blake Martinez. I'm going to read you off 9 weeks of games. Listen to this. 20.5, 26.5, 24, 27.5, 12, 8, 28, 11.5, 16.
It's consistency.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep.
And
it's consistency.
I moved him to LB1. I've got Devin at number 2, who we're going to get into shortly. I'm buying any shares I have, and if I have him, I'm holding him. So I'm all in on the Blake Martinez wagon. He's my LB1, folks. So take that with what you will. Mike, buy, sell, hold Blake Martinez.
I mean, if I can buy him, you're probably buying high, so you're probably not going to get a good price. But if I have him, I'm holding. He's still only 25. He's still relatively young.
Yep, right. And hey, while we're at it there, I see that question down there at the bottom, Coach. He's asking, what about dynasty value with Jordan Hicks? You know the guy's only been in the league for 5 years, right? I'm buying. Buy. Yes, buying him, baby.
Hicks is 2 years older than Blake Martinez, if you can believe that.
Right. And
27.
I'm older than all of them. And Mike is older than all of
everybody.
All right, LA. What do you think about Blake Martinez, brother?
He's like my favorite linebacker. I mean, in my IDP leagues, I draft him all the time. If it's like a heavy IDP, full IDP, he's like my first or second round pick all the time. He's consistent every single year. I had a great time. A couple years ago, picking him up off free agency, I think he's going to be just fine. I'm holding on to him anywhere possible. I don't have him anywhere because everyone gets him before I do now, which really freaking sucks, you know. But yeah, look at it. Week 10, this week he's going against Christian McCaffrey. You know, that's beautiful.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point, LA. Ooh.
So week 11 he's going to have his bye. Week 12 he's going against the Niners, and they run at least 30 times a game.
Oh yeah.
Then week 13 Giants, Saquon. Week 14 the Redskins is whatever, but week 15 I think the Chicago Bears, their defense is really good, so that's going to keep the Packers offense off the field, and he's going to have lots of opportunities then. And week 16 he has Dalvin Cook in the Vikings. You know. So that just looks like a beautiful schedule for him to rack up some points.
Love it, brother. Love it. Coach, what you think? Blake Martinez?
So just to touch base on Carolina and Blake Martinez matchup this week. Dante Fowler had a 21-point week against him. Corey Littleton was 37. Jumping down, Shaq Barrett and Kevin Minter both put up big numbers. Chandler Jones.
I'd still rather own Kevin Minter than Shaq Barrett. Give me Kevin Minter all day.
Bernardrick McKinney and Zach Cunningham both had over 20 points against him. Wow. Devin White put up 21 and a half. Yeah, and then even back to last week, Jayon Brown,
8 tackles.
Carrera and Rashawn Evans each all were over 10 points against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are allowing they're averaging around 25 total tackles to opposing linebackers. And then if you have a big play guy, I think they're also allowing almost 2 sacks to the linebacker position. So Martinez is in a fantastic spot this.
Yeah.
Right on, fellas. All right, let's get into number 4. I couldn't wait to get to this one. I've been looking at it the whole time just because of the guest we got on. Mr. Joe Schobert. At week 1, 14 points, 31.5, 15, 35, 28.5, 15, 21.5, and 14. I'm going to lead off with the only person I'd go to ask this question. Mr. Mike Waller, what are we doing with Joe Schobert?
I think I'm selling. I don't think he's going to be in Cleveland next year. I'd be very surprised if he was in Cleveland. But I think I'm selling him. But he's still, a really good linebacker. I think you can still get some pretty good value for him. But I'm actually still surprised that he's top scorer. I really thought at the beginning of the season that he was going to lose some snaps, and that hasn't been the case. With no Christian Kirksey on the field, he pretty much has all the tackles to himself. Mac Wilson has been okay, but he's also hitting a rookie wall. But yeah, I really thought he was going to lose some playing time, lose some snaps to guys like Taki, who I don't even think has really seen many snaps. I think he's been one of those healthy inactives every single week. So maybe he was, just isn't ready. But yeah, Schobert, 77 tackles on the season. Pretty decent matchup against the Bills. He should be all over the field. Makes plays. Still has a problem with the missed tackles though. But he's the guy playing 100% of the snaps. He's calling the plays. He's the captain of the defense, so he doesn't leave the field.
Right on, buddy. And that's just why I wanted to do this on this episode, was just to show. I mean, there's probably 10 names below his in overall scoring through 9 weeks that I'd have over him. Me too. I mean, probably more, but you just off the top of my head, looking through this list, there's plenty of names I'd take over him right now. So we just wanted to hit y'all with these and let y'all know that, hey, anything can change in IDP, and you'll see with some. We'll mention some honorable mentions and some guys that you should buy coming up here in a minute. But let's go ahead and move on. I'm going to get to what EH said. Coach, you got EH's question there.
Yeah, I was
YouTube
going to hold this in my pocket here for when we got to number 5. So we'll toss
we're
that out
here.
here right now.
We're here, buddy. We're here.
He asks, who's
Oh.
your fantasy IDP rookie of the year? Now, I know a lot of people would have said our number 5 guy after probably 4 weeks. He probably would have had the spot, but there's another guy in the Bay there that's probably taken that role over now as the easy IDP rookie of the year.
I'm going to say not so fast. And this is very, very hard for me to say, as y'all probably all know. I think a lot of it has to do with the help he has. I think that what Devin Bush is doing in Pittsburgh as a rookie is more impressive than what Nick Bosa is doing with D Ford, DeForest Buckner, Richard Sherman, and the best defense in the National Football.
Defense, yeah.
So my rookie of the year is our number 5, Devin Bush, and I'm going to read the numbers off real quick. We got 19.5 week 1, 13.5, 25, 26.5, 18, 30.50, 15.5, and 13.5. Devin Bush, fellas, it's my rookie of the year. He was my number 1 linebacker. I'm still on board.
So
Yeah,
just
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Just to put into context right now, on average, the average points here, Nick Bosa is averaging 20.938 points per game, or points per week, or however you want to break it down. Whereas Devin Bush, I believe, is 20.2. So there is a slight advantage to Bosa, but the consistency numbers are heavily stacked towards Devin Bush.
Oh yeah, that's it. Because when you look at Bosa's box score, he has
53 points.
He's got a 53 pointer, but he's got 1-0, a 1, and a 3.5, and a 7.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And in the 53 point game, he got an interception. He sacked the quarterback 3 times.
Yeah.
He only got 4 tackles. And then you get, I'm taking Devin White, guys. He's my rookie of the year. I love Bosa. I love the guy. Of course I do. Glad we got him. But if you're going to ask me as an analyst, I still think it's Devin Bush.
Yeah, I would probably go with Devin Bush too. First 2 games, he wasn't even playing 100% of the snaps. He was playing around 75 to 80. He became a 3-down linebacker right around week 3. But still making tackles, and he's just so fast. You can see that sideline to sideline. He can catch up to anybody.
No, just to play some devil's advocate, those 2 zeros that Bosa had off the beginning of the year, was he even really playing? Was he even
the beginning? The week 1 he put up 21 points, Coach.
Week 1?
So yeah, week 1 he put up 21. So he was getting playing time. Or we can't really fault it to playing time because week 1 he got put up a 20 burger.
But he is.
With Bosa, week one he was on 55% to 43%. Week 3 is when his time skyrocketed. So I played about 55% of the snaps week 1, about 43 week 2. He's probably been averaging around 70. I'd say around 75% of the snaps from week 3 on.
Right on. Okay, so we're still on linebacker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody in the room's buying Devin Bush. I know that.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get on, guys. Let's get on to let's get on to DNs. But let's do some honorable mentions. Coach Mike, y'all see anybody? Let's go. Brian Burns. I see him there at 22, and we got a question about him. I'm buying him anywhere I can. I love Brian Burns. Love him.
I'm probably not.
Not Brian Burns.
No,
Okay.
no. I don't know
All
what
right.
it is. It's my spidey senses. Maybe it's a Spider-Man mask he tried to wear that game, but something's just, I don't know.
Coach, I have the same feelings, man. It's some people ask me something on Twitter. I'm like,
Is he injured?
I don't know. I don't like him.
No, I think he ticked someone off or something. That's really hurt his playing time there about 2 weeks ago. He had like 0 playing time until the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I'm looking up an article right now, and it's weird. He's being they're not playing him for some reason. It
He slept with somebody's wife.
says
Yeah, and that's for me, that is concerning. Not the fact that he slept with someone's wife, but the fact that he wasn't getting that playing time. Like, when you're not getting into the game until the 4th quarter, and you're supposed to be this great pass rusher, which we saw him do at times, there's something there that just doesn't quite sit well with me. And there's got to be a reason why he's not getting that playing time. Because let's face it, Bruce Irvin's not the greatest D end either. So
I hate that. Oh, I can't stand Bruce Irvin, man.
So there's got to be a reason why he's not seeing the field.
In the league, man.
Whether that's
last week against Tennessee, last week against Tennessee was the most playing time he's had since week 3. He was on 71% of the snaps. Tennessee has a pretty decent offensive line. I mean, they've got is it Taylor Lewan or is it the other guy who's actually not too bad?
Lewan's the one that's banged up, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Taylor Lewan is a big man who picks on little guys who can't back himself up. Done. Said it.
So
you watch him when a big guy comes at him, he doesn't do much, but he'll go out there and he'll knock out a DB in about 30 seconds.
Oh, so he hasn't gotten any points in 2 weeks, but he's gotten snap counts. Yeah, like snaps, but not too much. Less than 50% in the last 4 games, which is concerning. Yeah. Yeah.
Right on, Phyllis. Love it. Love the info, man. Oh, man. People's going to listen to this audio version and be like, what show am I listening to? Live. I'm learning way too much on this episode.
Yeah, he's a for sure.
All right, fellas, let's get over there to defensive ends.
Get
into defensive ends, and guess who's at number 1, fellas? We got Big Bro Joey. That's my guy, baby. And I want somebody to join us so we can talk about this number 1. I'm trying to get him in right now, so go ahead, Coach. I think you're saying that for me.
Full disclosure here on Joey Bosa, that's with 1 extra game. If you do not count week 10 on Thursday night, Donnell Hunter is number 1.
Okay, you're right. Good point, Coach. Great point. My bad on that one. Let's see. We've got let me hit these points. We've got Joey Bosa at 235.75. He's averaging 23 points a game. Week 1, 31 points, 15, 13, 10, 30, 9, 40, 48, 27, 10. That is with the extra week, like my better half said. So, but anyway, guys, I missed that. But Joey Bosa. Let's start off with LA on this one, guys.
Oh, I love Joey Bosa. I mean, I'm a Chargers fan, so I would hold on to him. But let's see what his remaining schedule. I mean, what are we really talking about? Are we talking about just for the rest of the season or dynasty? What's going on right now?
We usually roll with dynasty, but if anybody has any redraft questions, they usually shoot them at us. You know what I mean? So we usually do a dynasty format, but hey, redraft, giraffe, purple giraffe, dynasty. I want Joey Bosa. So
yeah, I would hold on to him for sure. I mean, do you guys have any injury concerns about Joey Bosa per se? Yes. Okay.
Well, we went back and forth. I got a good friend of mine that used to be on Rated IDP Live that really took that injury risk of Joey Bosa and threw him way down in them ranks. I mean, this guy didn't like him at all. And I'm going to leave that as a teaser because I hope he joins us here in a minute. But anyway, Lamar, I'm not worried about it, brother. I think it's the NFL. If I'm worried about injuries, this ain't going to be fun.
Yeah.
Does Ingram does Bosa play better with Ingram on or off the field? Because he's
On.
so many injuries. He got hurt last night, I believe.
They both did.
Well, Ingram's missed the last 4. I think Ingram missed the last 3 or 4 games, but Bosa still has produced sacks in every. I think only week 6 and 2, and last night he didn't produce a sack. So I think he's a guy. He's matchup proof. So he's a guy I start on a weekly basis. But I have to throw a penalty flag here on this scoring on the podcast wars scoring here.
Come on, let's hear it. We got to make it better. I want to. We want it perfect.
If someone gets a solo and assist, but still gets double-digit points, I kind of have an issue with that.
My buddy, coach.
Okay, so the scoring is set up so that the defense scores equal to what the offense would get. So that's why you're seeing those numbers on the defense skewed a little bit. So when you break down some of the top offensive teams, because you're not going to get a defensive end or typically you're not going to get a defensive tackle putting up any number, the same number of anyone on the offense. It's probably not going to happen. So we had to bump those numbers up just to try and mask. So the end of the excuse me, at the end of the day, we want the top team in the IDP division to play the top team in the offense, and we want to have a good close matchup and see how it goes from there. So that's why those numbers are a little skewed a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's also never been done. Like I contacted my fantasy league and I was like, hey, I want one division offense and one division defense. And they was like, what the hell did you say? And they was like, hey, dude, we know we love you and we sponsor you and we'll give you free leagues, but hey, you're gonna have to do that on your own. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So if you take a look here, the top offensive scoring team has 1,487 points. The top defensive team looks like they are at 1,458.
Yeah, okay. That makes a little bit more sense because it's like when I see someone get a solo and an assist, that should be like 3 or 4 points. That shouldn't be double digits, but I see what you're saying.
So there is a reason to my madness here when I did this.
Yep.
It was try and create something that both sides are going to be equal to. Now, like Dougie said, nothing's perfect. This is a feeler process, but now I'm very happy so far with the early return through 9 weeks with the parity between the two divisions.
Yeah.
I'll tell y'all what it is straight up. I got tired of going, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if he said, I just threw it out there and deal with, the problems as they come and get people like you, Mike, to help us, adjust this because
no, the explanation made sense. I totally forgot that the offense plays the defense. And if it was typical scoring, then the defense probably would get
destroyed
off the board.
Right. Because we ultimately want to play with offense, right? Right? We want all that glitz and glam. ESPN don't have no ESPN IDP, do they? On Sunday mornings, we want in on some of it. So my thought was, if I get the cool kids to join, maybe we get to sit with them at lunch. You know what I mean? Also, I got with Coach, and here we are.
I'm still eating glue at the little kids' table, so just ignore me.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get my tray. I can't reach it up. I'm just trying to drag it across there. All right, let's go right in. Go ahead, Coach.
But I am concerned. Like Joey Bosa for me is a sell because I think you can get a lot for him, and I am concerned about the injury. And I'm even more concerned. Now we know Joey Bosa's matchup proof. We've kind of talked about that, but what we're not talking about is here. I wish our buddy there, J Dub, was here. Melvin Gordon is probably not going to be a Charger next year.
We can get him on.
He's in the last year of his contract. We know the Chargers are very frugal, so chances are Melvin Ingram's not going to get paid, and you're not going to have that guy opposite of Joey Bosa next year. So for me, Bosa is a sell because I can get max for him right now. I don't have to worry about the injury history, and I don't have to worry about who's going to be opposite of him next year.
I feel like one thing we need to do real fast is put these top two in a tier. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Number 3 is my number 2 overall player in Dynasty IDP, but these two guys are kind of setting themselves apart from the others, and I know one played an extra week.
I'm going to go.
Go ahead, Coach.
I'm going to go and say it right now because we haven't talked about number 2 yet. He is my defensive player of the year in the NFL. I'll say it right now because he does not get the love. He's like the Matt Stafford of defensive football.
Yeah.
Danielle Hunter is the top defensive lineman in the league right now.
He's
no argument.
Oh.
Go ahead. Did
you know he only turned 25 years old last week?
Yeah.
He's so young. He turned 20 years old on October 29th.
He started playing the NFL when he was 12.
Yep. And nobody still noticed him.
And for me, Hunter is a buy. I am buying him all day long.
Agree 100%. I don't think there's nothing much more needs to say about them top two. Myles Garrett comes in at number 3, a little bit below him. I don't think there's anybody in this room that wouldn't say buy Myles Garrett. So let's carry on. Number 4 is where I want to stop at real fast because this is a guy I'm a little bit intrigued by. Calais Campbell, guys. At number 4 overall fantasy scoring for defensive ends at 174.75 for kind of a little bit of measurement. Number 1, Danielle Hunter at 226.75. So big gap there. Calais Campbell. Guys, talk to me.
He's a sell for me. I mean, I like him. Good player. Generates pretty good pressure. But he's getting up there in age a little bit, and he's a sell. But I mean, huge pressure rate. I think he's generated 45 total pressures on just 312 rush snaps. So dude can get after the quarterback. He's been doing it his entire career, even when he was with Arizona. But sack numbers little down. But he's a sell for me, but still a really good player. If he's listening, sorry, I'm not going to give you Chris. He's been known to track people down. I think he tracked people down that gave him his Madden grade. So I'm hopefully he doesn't end up finding where I live. But no,
look, it's him right now.
Yeah.
What's up?
Still,
We're not going to post it just yet. Okay, I'll edit that out. Calm down. I'll edit that out. All right, talk to you later. Calm down.
Yeah. So
good player though.
I agree with Mike here, and you can say I think, in my opinion, the numbers 4, 5, and 6 are all the same for me. Now, here's what gets intriguing. If I'm a contender and I'm looking to win this year, I'm holding on to Calais Campbell. If I'm in the middle of the pack where I'm like 5, 6, 7, I'm probably not going to put myself in that championship game when it's all said and done. Then he's a sell for future assets too, because that age thing is getting up there. He's still probably going to ball over in the 2-3 years.
No.
He's 33 years old.
Am I the only one that just heard Coach say he's a sale for future assets? Then I guess I was zoned out, man. I thought we went on a different topic there for a minute there, Coach.
I think you're seeing too many needles and Heffords here today, so.
All right, buddy.
But you know what I'm saying? If I'm a team that's in that 1, 2, 3 in my league, and with a defensive end there, I'm holding Calais Campbell. If I'm in that 5, 6, 7 range where I'm going to get in the playoffs, but I'm probably not going to put myself in a winning position. Then I'm going to sell.
I like that. I like that a lot, Coach. That's a great point, buddy. That's a great point. If you need him to push you to the championship, keep that bad boy. If you need him to push you to a championship next year, sell that bad boy. Love it, Coach. Love it, buddy. I think number 5 might be similar. Brandon Graham from the Philadelphia Eagles. 171.5, 3 points less than Calais Campbell. Week 1, 11.5. He averages 19 points a game. Week 1, 11.5. Week 2, 10.5, 12.5, 9.5, 46.5, 20.5, 5.5, 37, 18. Guys, Brandon Graham. I've sold him. I think I sold last night. Sold him last night. Matter of fact, sure did. What are y'all doing?
Like I said, I got him in the 4, 5, 6 on here on this list. I put them in the same boat. If I'm there in that hunt, I'm probably holding them. But if I'm not going to be able, if I know I'm not making a championship, because even if you're 4th in your league, you're not going to win. It's a sell for me.
Let me tell you what I traded him for, and I caught some slack. I traded him for Josh Allen on a team that I was only won 2 games all year in. It's done. It's done.
Good
It's a
deal.
wrap, boys. Selling the farm.
Yeah,
I like Josh Allen.
I'll take Josh Allen. I'll take a Josh Allen for Brandon Graham deal 9 times out of 10.
Yep. That's what I made. I made the deal. Last night at about 11:30 at night. Yeah. I sent it to him. Really didn't think it'd get accepted, to be honest with you. I really didn't. I thought I'd catch some crap. Smashed it. All right, fellas. Defensive ends out of the way. Some honorable mentions. Number 7, Nick Bosa. 167, 4 points less than Brandon Graham. Josh Allen, the aforementioned Josh Allen at 158. Guys, a hot name, Sam Hubbard. Let's do that. Sam Hubbard, Mike Waller. You buying, holding, or selling Sam Hubbard, the second-year wonder? I know we liked him, as a rookie, underperformed. Here he is. What's up, Sam Hubbard?
Yeah, I'd be buying or holding. He's definitely getting the most playing time. He's out snapping Carl Lawson, and Hubbard is getting the pressure. He's getting to the quarterback. He's had some good weeks. Still has the Browns twice this season, so he'll get a chance to produce against our offensive line, which is not very good right now, which is kind of a bummer. But he also gets the Dolphins and he gets the Jets, so he has a pretty nice schedule over the next stretch of games.
Mont, you got anything there?
Yeah, I would hold on to him. I mean, he might have been underperforming just a bit on some weeks and stuff because I think he was dealing with injuries throughout the season and stuff. But I mean, he's got tons of potential. His first few weeks was amazing, and week 1 against the Seahawks, 6 solo tackles, 4 tackle assists, 2 tackle for losses, 2 sacks. So, I mean, I think he's just gonna get better, and next year he might, have an incredible season.
And there's 2 more here, guys, I want to talk about real quick, just because I like to look at the averages here a little bit more. We talked a little bit about Melvin Ingram there. He's averaging 20 points per game. He's at 141 in this league in scoring, so that's why he's down at 16. But that's with 3 full games missed. Plus, we know he got injured in week 4 after that 3.5-point performance. Contract coming up. He's probably not going to end up in LA again next year. What about him? Buy or sell?
I'm
probably selling.
Is that an age thing?
An injury thing. I just don't know what's going on, And then, he's been injured quite a few times in his career, and I don't know. I just see that the Chargers making drastic changes and moves, and he might be a potential trade piece or something. I don't see them investing in him that much.
Okay, so I lied. I got 2 more here. One is a question. Go ahead, Lamont.
Okay. Where is Cameron Jordan at in the rankings?
He's averaging 20.39 points so far. He's got 165 and a half. He is probably sitting
He's number 9.
9. Yeah.
Okay. Because when he played the Rams, he got like a fumble recovery or something, a
But
strip,
they didn't count.
and then he took it back all the way to the house, and that was supposed to count. But the referees botched that play, and if they didn't mess that play up, I think that he would be in the top 5. I just want to throw that out there, because,
Yes, he would.
yeah, because this was like a 90-yard run. I was at the game and I saw it. It was insane,
If you're counting that, if I'm going off the scoring, he's at 162. That probably would have put him at number 3.
Damn.
At about 179 points because it's a
Good
6
call.
points. So
fair. Yeah.
Good call, LA. He's all mine, guys. Can't happen. That's my co-host down there. Wrap it up. So hands off. Everybody hands off. Y'all better not be sliding in his DMs because I discovered him, and you better keep your hands to yourself, all right? Don't maybe come hunt y'all down.
Hey, bro.
All right, I got a few little problems going on, so I'm gonna have to. Hey, let's move. I want to talk safety real fast before I might have to get out of here and Coach carries on. Landon Collins, number 1. We got 237, averages 26 points a game. Week 1, 22. Week 2, 34, 25, 14, 26.5. 55 points. 9, 28, 23.5. Is everybody buying Landon Collins or holding as I am, fellas?
Yes.
Hold.
Yes. As soon as Landon Collins landed in Washington, I really loved that spot because virtually no linebackers in Washington. I mean, really, John Bostic, really? I mean, I know he's producing. He's the only linebacker that's producing, and Collins is just a big, bad box safety. So that's.
I'm gonna take a quick minute to step on a perch and kind of toot my own horn because I believe I'm the only fantasy analyst to ever actually shoot a crow, skin it, and eat it. So I believe when I kind of get one right, I feel like I might be able to just be like, hey. But if anybody would check out the IDP Nation guys, some great friends of mine, during the off season, I had Landon Collins as the number 1 safety. Woo! Them DFAF Army guys came at me. Them followers came at me, man. It was deep. I had him above Derwin, and it wasn't for okay. One question, Mike. Do you think if Derwin was healthy, Landon would be where he is right now?
If Derwin was healthy, I would still think Landon is a top 3 safety.
I do too.
Yeah,
okay, so you just took the easy way out of that one there. What? You still believe he'd be a top 3 safety?
No, I didn't say 3.
No,
what?
Mike just said.
No,
that's where I had him ranked. I had him ranked 3rd at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's what I was hit. Yeah, go ahead.
So if Derwin James was healthy and playing every game here through 9 weeks, would Landon Collins be number 1?
Yeah. I think so.
I would still have Derwin James. I'm glad we brought him up because he's supposed to be coming back here. Word out of LA is he's ready to come back here in a couple weeks. So
yeah,
I'm excited about that.
And another name is he's out for the season, so he's not coming back. But where would Keanu Neal be if he didn't get hurt? That's
right. And as I toot my own horn, I should say I had Neal in my top 5. You know what I mean? So it's you can't predict these games, man. But we can tell you who we like and who we'd sell.
Well, here's my top 5. So here's how my DBs went for top 5. I had Jamal Adams 1, Keanu Neal 2, Collins 3, Jonathan Abraham 4, John Johnson 5. 3 out of those 5 are hurt.
Yep. And here's mine real quick. Landon Collins, Derwin James, I had Jesse Bates, Cincinnati at number 4, and then Jamal Adams 5. So just look that up. The rest of this list is where the talking point is, guys. This is where the juicy stuff is.
Yeah.
This is why you stream the position and don't spend a high pick.
Yeah. That's why I wanted to take my time and toot myself about Landon Collins, because hey, these other ones, hey, Buda Baker, we all loved him. We all loved him. So let's just skip past him. Let's skip past him. He's at number 2. He's 17 points less than Landon Collins. I like Buda Baker. Everybody buying Buda Baker?
Yeah, I'll buy.
I you know what? I'm so meh on safety DBs. Then I'm so like meh on DBs. I don't have any type of loyalty to them. So if somebody wants to trade something of any type of value for a DB, take them. You can have them. I'm confident.
I'll add
somebody
one
else.
little thing to that, Mike. I'll add one little thing to that, buddy, because most of the leagues that me and you play in, they have a defensive tackle, and they have a defensive end, they have a cornerback, and they have a safety.
Yeah.
I would say my buddy down here, LA, I'd say he plays in mostly leagues that just have DB designation and just DL designation. So therefore, I'd say that kind of makes me move safeties up in my ranks.
Well, I do the light IDP, so it's just one DB, one DL, one LB, and then the one defensive flex. Yeah.
Right, LA. What I was saying is, buddy, is like do you have to specify? Do you have to start a cornerback and a safety, or can it just be DB?
Just
cornerback or safety.
Only in
right.
I'm in with you guys, where it gets specific with just that position.
Right. That's just what I was hitting on. All right. So hey, I cannot wait to say number 4's name, but I better say number 3. Jabril Peppers at number 3, fellas. He's only 1 point less than Buda Baker, and he averages the exact same as Buda Baker. So Jabril Peppers, the enigma. Do you remember like episode, I think it was like 15, where we had a little IDP weekly draft that we had, and I took Jabril Peppers, and I said, you know what, he's better than Bethea. Remember that? And I got blasted by our resident Giants fan at that time. Well, you know what? Bethea's at 196, and Peppers is at 219. So I'm not buying anyway. Well, what are you going to do when they take Grant Delpit next year in 2020 and Peppers gets moved to that free set?
You know what? I don't think they will.
They won't. They better take Isaiah Simmons. But anyway,
I'll tell you this: the Giants are using Jabril Peppers the way that I thought the Browns should have used him.
Yes.
Greg Williams played him. Greg Williams played him all the way out in Lake Erie. I mean, I don't know where he was played. He was way, way off the line of scrimmage. So I will say this: the Giants are playing him the way I think they're playing him the way that Greg Williams should have played him here in Cleveland.
I'm glad you said that too, because I saw a photo of Mac Wilson on like a ferry or something in Lake Erie, and someone commented, "Is like, oh, that's where Jabril Peppers played strong safety."
Yep. That is the running joke about our safeties when Greg Williams was here.
All right, fellas, enough to talk about Peppers. I'm ready to get into some good stuff. Former San Francisco 49er, one of my favorite players, to be honest with you, Mr. Eric Reed from the Carolina Panthers comes in at number 4. This is one of the biggest, I'd say, values of the offseason, in my opinion. He's got 215 points. He comes in just 4 points shy of second place at the moment. He's got week 1, 15 points, 2, 9 points. 31, 21, 29, 24.5, 39.5, 46.5. Guys, them are huge numbers. He comes down and defends every tight end they go against. Eric Reed, man, one of my favorite. I'd say this guy's my buy of the show. Eric Reed.
Yeah, I really liked Reed coming into the season. He had I think this is his first full season in Carolina. So this was his first full season in Carolina.
First full season, yes, sir.
Yeah, because he went there mid-season last year. But yeah, I really liked Reed. A good thumper. I think I had him in my preseason question. I had him ranked 8th among all DBs heading into the season, just because playing behind a good line, moving to 3-4, playing in the box. He's also playing outside free safety too. One of those Swiss Army knives that can play everywhere.
For sure. Love Eric Reed, man. LA, you got any of them Eric Reed shares, buddy?
I mean, I've streamed him quite a few times because, like I said, I only have to use one defensive back.
Right.
I don't think I have him in any of the leagues where it's safeties and stuff because he probably just got really snatched up. But he really helped me out get some victories throughout the season, and I would hold on to him too because the Panthers are looking great. I think they won like 5 of the last 6 games, so they're probably gonna have to rely heavily on all facets of their team, including defense. And he's a huge playmaker, so I could see him doing some more stuff throughout the rest of the season.
Right on. Number 5. Number 5, guys. Number 5. It's I don't know what okay, number 5 is Tracy Walker from the Detroit Lions at 205. He's only 10 behind 4. He's only about 15 behind second. He's averaging, check this out, the most fantasy points per game than any safety in fantasy IDP. Tracy Walker.
And it's 3 points more than anyone else. It's not just by 0.5 or 0.25. It's 3 full points that he leads everyone per game.
And he missed week 9 and he's missing this week.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I was going to say. Yep. Took the word. Yep. Great. Tracy Walker, guys. Am I the only one, thinking of him? And, I want him everywhere.
Yeah, I bought him after week 2. Week 1, he put up a crazy number, 40 points. And then week 2, he put up another 30 points. So I was like, okay, I got to get him right now. This is what, week what you can have one big week and we'll call it what it is. But when you do a second big week, and now you look at him, he's almost averaging 30 points, almost 30 points per week.
What's his floor? What's like his main floor?
His worst
game is 19 points in this league.
Yeah, that's his worst game. And as
IDP genius, I picked him up and I've only started him twice. So I don't know if you really want to listen to me.
So his worst
as I said earlier in the show, as soon as I see somebody that perks anybody's interest, especially in the offensive league that's mixed with IDP, anytime I have any offensive guy contact me about an IDP player, it's very seldom that I don't sell them because I know that guy is wanted. Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you is right now, if any of those guys reach out to you and they offer you a small ransom for this guy,
just do it.
Might take it. I might. Yeah. So I'm going to say Tracy Walker is a buy for me. At number 5, it's amazing to me. So I got to sell him.
There's one guy I want to talk about. When you guys got a second here?
Yep.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
No. I'm gonna stay with Oakland.
Go ahead, Bob.
Eric Harris. Now we got to remember LaMarcus Joyner looks like he blew his hammy. Carl Joseph looks like he's down with a foot injury. Eric Harris could be in for some huge numbers. Like he's been getting more and more snaps, more and more playing time as this year's gone on. Like yes, he has big numbers from last night with 2 picks or 3 picks or whatever crazy number. But those opportunities.
Question. Got a question.
Yes, guy in the top right corner.
Zach Allen.
Oh yeah, I was kind of waiting to see how we were coming back on that.
Well, he ain't going to be nowhere near these top defensive ends, coach.
Zach Allen. Yeah, he's worth a stash. I've got him stashed in a couple deeper leagues.
Only way I'd stash him is if I thought that they was going to change the defense in Arizona back to a 4-3. It's the only way I'd want him. I don't have much for him. I don't want him.
Maybe if Zach changed his name to Josh, that'd be the only time I'd stash him.
Yeah.
Does anyone else feel like they get better looking when there's more people in the room because it shrinks your screen? I'm enjoying this. We gotta get some more people here so I get smaller and better looking.
The Raiders, I think the Raiders.
Everybody,
did
please
DJ
welcome
Swearinger.
Mr. Daryl Bosa. Daryl Bosa. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, fuck you, Doug.
So, if anyone's
Right. I teased the hell out of it earlier, so there's no way that I can't give him a little shit now. The number one Joey Bosa hater joins us, Mr. DFF Win himself. What's up, Hollywood? Thanks for jumping on, buddy.
Dougie? What's up, Coach?
Not much, man.
Hey, so I just want to give a full disclosure for the 3 people that are still watching us right now. About 3 weeks ago, Doug took his possums that were chewing on his internet. Doug had a family of possums that were chewing on his internet connection. Doug packaged them up in his shoebox. He put holes in the shoebox, and he sent them to Tennessee there. So if you see Hollywood's connection kind of go fuzzy, it's because Doug sent the possums there.
Yep. And only thing I had to do to run them towards Tennessee and away from Oklahoma, I had to put college football losses in that shoebox, and then they started going towards Tennessee. They got away from Oklahoma and they was going towards Tennessee. So there we go.
The glove early and the gloves are off. I see that. Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Hey, D, we got to live them up. I'd like you to meet my new buddy down here. This is LA. That's D Win. He's new to the world, so he probably thinks we are all crazy. He already thinks that Coach is a serial killer and Mike is all our dads. So please welcome LA.
Well, Coach is a serial killer. I don't know Mike, but he is crazy as hell. So,
Coach's mustache then ran off earlier.
Oh, it ran off.
Hey, let's get. Hey, we better. Hey, I want LA to do a little bit of time. Hey, we did safeties, linebackers, defensive ends. I want to hit on running backs is what I want to do right here. And my buddy LA, he likes him some offense, and I always like to have offensive guy on Rated IDP Live. So, LA,
hey guys, I'm gonna jet out here.
Get out of here, Mike.
It's late. I'm tired. I'm hitting the rack.
See, that's a real IDP homie there. I think offense is good. Like, fuck no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Mike, I love you, man. I love you. Thanks for jumping on, brother. Hey, I know you got to go. I know it's right on. Thanks, buddy. I love you, man. Thanks.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
We got
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, buddy. Everybody go follow Mike Waller. That's at Mike _WOLLERT. Nope, that ain't it. That ain't it. Don't look that up.
You got it. I think you got it. WOELLERT. All right, it's late. I'm loopy.
That's what I said. See you later. Get out of here. Get out here,
Good
Dad.
night, everybody.
Love you, Dad. I need the keys in the morning. Leave me $5 on the counter. I love you. Oh man, I like that dude.
Hey,
He's
that's
always
you know
at
what?
my back, man.
We need
That
to get
dude's cool.
T-shirts that say like no offense, right, written on them. IDP on
yeah.
the back or something.
I just figured everybody knows that by now with me. If they don't, then I figured they've hit block or unfollow by now. You know, they should know that only time I'm serious is when I'm telling IDP facts. All right, Coach. Daryl Lamont. Let's get into what? LA. Hey, LA. You want to talk some RBs, buddy? Let's talk some running backs, man. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with number one. Go ahead, Bob.
Mr. Christian McCaffrey. I think he's the front runner for MVP. If you ask me, I mean, if you look at it, they don't have Cam Newton right now, and all they're doing is winning games. So he's just a monster. They're saying that he's on pace to do stuff that LaDainian Tomlinson did, or I don't know, Marshall Falk in fantasy. I mean, this is reminding me of Todd Gurley 2 years ago, but it's pretty nuts. I mean, he's doing it all. His floor is incredible.
The numbers he's putting up right now are right up there with Priest Holmes type numbers.
Yes.
Tell everybody that average. Tell everybody that average, Coach. Just say that average out loud.
That average in our league is 36 point, we'll call it 5. 36.5. The next closest running back based on average is at 27.6. That's 9 full points.
That is I think that's the single most astonishing fact we've heard all night, and this is IDP podcast. That's crazy. that the fantasy running back number 2 is that far behind him. That's insane to me.
They had this special on Christian McCaffrey on ESPN, and it was Bruce Lee Christian McCaffrey segment, and he really looks up to Bruce Lee, and it's so incredible, like how he talks about him and how he uses like his methods and his lifestyle in order to. They're saying stuff about how it moves fluid like water and stuff. It was pretty amazing. If you want to YouTube it, just YouTube Christian McCaffrey, Bruce Lee, and then it was pretty inspiring. And I mean, like when we saw that picture of him looking like a freaking monster in the preseason, we should have known that he was up to, like, you know, he was going to be number 1 locked in. Just he's amazing. You know?
Yeah, I'm looking at these numbers. Like he's already had 165 carries this year. That's not including the other 42 catches he's had.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only 9 weeks into the season.
Do you think Saquon and Kamara would be up there with McCaffrey though if they never got hurt? I mean, I think they missed at least 2-3 games each.
Kamara, yeah, I think there'd still be a clear 8-point separation no matter how you look at it. That's how good McCaffrey's been. Mm-hmm. Kamara, he's sitting at about 21 points right now per game. Okay. And that's factoring in everything, right? So yeah. I think even if Kamara was fully healthy, I think he'd probably be averaging that 24, 25 range. No, we're talking like this 36, 37 points per game is absolutely unreal.
Yeah, it's out of control. He's broken out for a couple big, like 80-yard plays and stuff. And it's really like, I don't know, it's to the point where I feel like you might want to stash his backup, because every single week I see that Q right next to his name, that questionable mark right next to his name, only for 2-3 days, then he's taken off the injury report. But you might want to stash his backup with Reggie Bonifant. I mean,
that is correct. Yep.
Yeah, if you have enough room on your roster, go ahead and just hold on to him, because it's just too high of an investment. You don't want to waste it right now. You don't want to risk losing that at all.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get. I think if Reggie Bonifant comes in, I think you're looking at probably in that Devontae Freeman type numbers, 15 points per game if Reggie takes over there. So it's not a big. It's you're not going to get nearly the same production, but I think I think 15 points is probably what the floor would be with Reggie Bonifin coming in. And he's had a couple big plays himself, Bonifin has.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you have a deep bench, go ahead and do it. But not if you have like a shallow bench. I mean, I don't think it's really worth it to go ahead and stash Reggie. But it's just that role right there it has of course it's because Christian McCaffrey and stuff, but it might be a sure proof role for any running back who steps into that system right now.
And like Dr. Turner just kind of pointed in, he's already got 10 touchdowns.
Damn.
10 touchdowns.
10 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, 10 and 3 more passing, receiving. Yeah. I'm sure he's probably even thrown for 2 touchdowns. We just missed it.
And a 2-point conversion. Wow.
Yeah, these are numbers we haven't seen in a long, long time since, like you said, the LT days, Priest Holmes type days. But yeah, I think I just sit back and I just enjoy it. Even when I'm playing against him in fantasy, I'm like, well, hopefully someone else craps the bag. You know, McCaffrey's not even that tough matchup against the 49ers.
I got a confession to make actually, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, and I hate saying it because I get laughed at like crazy. And I'm only gonna do this just so I can entertain all the listeners and stuff. But I had a number 3 pick in one of my leagues, and I picked Odell Beckham over Christian McCaffrey. And yeah, I am kicking myself like crazy over. I mean, I'm still like 4-5, which is pretty amazing and stuff. Like I don't know how I'm doing it, but I don't know. I just feel like I deserve to get laughed at for that. You know, I did it because I predicted a couple of the top running backs would get hurt. And I was kind of right. Saquon was gone for 3 weeks. Kamara was gone for 2-3 weeks. But, yeah, that was a very stupid mistake of me. You know, that's what Christian McCaffrey is doing.
Our stats guys chimed in. Christian McCaffrey is 0 for 1 passing this year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, do that. Wow.
But, yeah, I was in the same thing. So, in a league, Hollywood and Dougie and myself and Dr. Turner here that chimes in. We're all in the same league, and I had the 101, and I took McCaffrey, top pick overall.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
You cheated. You cheated, Dingus. You cheated.
Okay, just real quick before we keep on going here, we just got another question coming in here. I was offered Corey Littleton for Tyler Lockett.
Oh, man.
I don't know if it's I don't know if it's the IDP in me, but I think I might lean towards Littleton over Lockett because I think there's more points available at the wide receiver position than the drop off at the linebacker position.
Wow. You know what? I might have to agree with you. I mean, I think initially the shock of it, people want to say Lockett, but
yes,
you might be right. I think you might be right there. I would have to agree with you on that.
My mind, when I first seen this question come up, my mind was saying Lockett, you go for the offense. But my mustache came in. He's like, no, the mustache goes, you go with Littleton because there's a bigger drop off at the linebacker than there is at the wide receiver position. And now with Seattle, they've also DK Metcalf is going to get more and more involved. Josh Gordon's going to get some here too. So Littleton is still the man as far as LA is concerned. So I think that's kind of where I would lean more towards the linebacker over the wide receiver in this situation. 9 times out of 10, I'd probably lean towards offense.
Right. And I think most people would.
I think Lockett got
one of the biggest things. Offense versus defense. People tend to gravitate towards offense right away. But yes, I'm with you on this. I really am.
So just to kind of touch a little bit more on that Littleton for Lockett. He also has McCaffrey, Kamara, Singletary, and DJ Moore. So he's got a good young base to work with as well.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I think it's done now, fellas. Yeah. I think I might have overloaded the laptop. Just shut down. You're done. put a put a nip in her. We're done with that thing. So I connected back with the phone here just to tell everybody bye. If y'all want to finish up, I'm sure this ain't great for anybody. So thanks everybody for joining you, and I'll catch you next time.
See you later, Doug.
Okay, so just to add a little more context here, at linebacker, he has Bush, Evans, and Shaq T. So it's Shaq Thompson. I think I would trade. I would trade Lockett for Littleton because then I could pair Bush and Littleton up and be set at linebacker for a long time.
Yeah, and like I lean towards like offense a lot and stuff, but when you look at Littleton, he has such a high floor, and he's a great playmaker. Lockett was targeted 18 times this last game, and it also depends on are you trying to win this year or are you trying to like prepare for next year and stuff. So if you look at Lockett's remaining schedule, he's going against he has the Niners this week, then he has a bye week next week, but then he has the Eagles week 11. The Eagles have one of the worst secondaries for almost 2-3 years. And then he has the Vikings, the Rams, the Panthers, and then the Arizona Cardinals week 16. And that just looks like a great schedule for playoff championship push. So if you have Lockett or you're going to acquire Lockett and you think that you're going to win or have a good chance to win this year, I might hold on to Lockett because his schedule just looks pretty gosh darn amazing, and the targets seem to be there, but not really. He's not really. He's only getting 5 to 6, 7 targets and stuff, but I don't know. I would kind of go Lockett if I want to win this year.
I want to go Littleton, but I think if you're in a PPR situation in a league that maybe offers you additional points for big plays, then Lockett's the way to go. But I think if you're in a standard scoring type league where you don't get points per reception, then I'd probably lean Littleton.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
What do you guys want to
Keep talking running backs here. We got about 13 minutes.
Awesome. So Dalvin Cook is number 2 right now, I believe. I'm checking out. I don't think that I'm looking at the same thing that you guys are looking at. I don't have the link to that. Is Dalvin?
Delvin's number 2 here too.
Yeah. So he's doing really good. He's got 9 rushing touchdowns. He doesn't have any receiving touchdowns, but he does have 33 catches. He's almost at the 1,000-yard rushing mark. But he seems very healthy. He seems really good to go. When you think about it, the Vikings are in the divisional playoff race with the Packers, and I think the Packers only have 2 losses so far, so they might have to heavily rely on Dalvin Cook for the rest of the season. Plus, Adam Thielen is out. So I would hold on to Dalvin Cook. I would probably try to trade for him, but the price is probably way too high. And he's getting at least 20 carries. It seems like he's gotten 20 carries in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. So he's a workhorse,
Right.
Yeah, I agree. The numbers that he's been putting up here recently are just unreal. He's right behind Christian McCaffrey as far as the scoring is going. And he has been involved heavily in the past, especially recently as well. So Dalvin Cook has been good. Just a quick touchback. I have changed my vote to Tyler Lockett now. It's 2 points. It's 2 points per reception.
Yeah, I've never seen that scoring format like that. That's crazy.
That changes everything.
Yeah,
2 points per reception. Tyler Lockett.
I can't imagine how much he scored this past week. Wow.
Well, I'm going to take a wild guess and say, he's got 59 receptions, so that puts him at about, just on receptions alone, about 120 points. 120 point. Yeah, he's probably well over 250 for scoring in that league. So, yeah, Tyler Lockett's who you want.
Absolutely.
I think Russell Wilson really trusts him, and he is a great end zone threat. I mean, I think I can't remember one of the touchdowns that Russell Wilson threw was just straight in the corner of the end zone. I think it was blocking who caught it. It was just beautiful. He's really excelling this year.
Okay, who else we got here? You want to look at the running back position?
It's number 3. You might need to help me know who number 3 is. Is it Austin Eckler?
We got him at number 4. Aaron Jones at and Aaron Jones is at number 3, but there's 1 point separating them. So
Okay. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Aaron Jones. What were we saying?
I love Austin Eckler. Really love him.
Yeah, he just seems so sure-proof. I mean, like even though with Melvin Gordon back, he's still like finding the end zone. He's still getting catches. I mean, in PPR, I think I would try to. We'll first stick to Aaron Jones for right now and stuff. But Aaron Jones just has the ability to hit that high ceiling. I really that's really important, especially when you're heading into the fantasy playoffs. So against Kansas City, he got 159 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, and against Dallas, I think he got 4 rushing touchdowns. So it's looking really good. I mean, week 10 he's got the Panthers. Week 11 is a bye. Week 12 is the Niners. So I mean, you got to think that his next 2 games might be straight up shootouts. It's gonna be the Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones show maybe this Sunday, and then they're gonna have to really rely on him on week 12 because of the Niners is gonna be a possible shootout. But I really like him. He's really good. It sucks to see sometimes that he'll hit that really, really low floor where he'll get less than 5 fantasy points, but I can't see it happening again. Maybe one time for the rest of the season, but he's going to be really steady, and I would hold on to him.
Okay, I do want to ask you about one of the more intriguing names, Chris Carson.
I love Chris Carson. I freaking love Chris Carson. I in my drafts when we were doing it back in July, I was getting him in the 7th and 8th round, and I thought it was an absolute steal. And I think that everyone's just finally starting to catch on. I'm very weary of what I think about him in dynasty leagues because I mean Penny is still there, and he's eventually going to get more looks. But Chris Carson got like 105 yards just in this past rushing yards in this past game, and he's awesome. I just think that he's on a winning team. They're going to use him. He's not going to get hurt or anything like that. And the Seahawks, that's all they do. They run the ball a lot, and he's getting his fair share of touches. So, I mean, I don't think he's in the top 5, but I mean, he's for sure really very reliable for the rest of the season.
Hey, Hollywood, you see that up on the screen? It's 4 points per tackle, 15 per sack, 12 per pass defended.
Yeah,
wow.
That's big, man.
That's a gnarly league, man.
That's a crazy league. I mean, 15 per sack. I mean that. I used to play in offensive only leagues years ago with Randy Moss, and my quote was, "It only takes one." At 15 per sack, it only takes one for you to run right there. So that's
huge.
Well,
You gotta go
and Littleton's a guy that can easily hit 10 tackles in a game. There's your 40 points.
That's so many points. Hey, do you mind? The person who's messaging us this, does he mind sharing with us how many points Littleton has gotten in his league? I mean, I can only imagine, because week 1, Littleton in one of my leagues, he got 38 points against the Panthers.
I know in a fairly standard scoring league, the difference between Lockett would be about 190 points and Littleton would be 103, and that's at 1 point per reception and 1 point per tackle. So I'm thinking 4 points per tackle, even at 2 points per reception.
That is astounding.
Yeah, he's averaging Littleton's averaging 49 points per game.
Oh my gosh. Go for Littleton, man. I mean,
Yeah. The mustache is back to Littleton.
yeah.
So here's one. Littleton's averaging 49, Lockett's averaging 35.
If you have faith in your offense and your offensive pieces, I would go ahead and go grab Littleton then, yeah, because it seems like your offense is strong enough to go ahead and make that move.
And INT is 34 points.
Jeez Louise.
That sounds and I'm looking at his, like you talked earlier, he's got McCaffrey, he's got Kamara, he's got DJ Moore, he's got Devin Singletary, he's got a good young nucleus there to build around. And this scoring is looking like it's crazy IDP heavy. I'm back to Littleton.
Right.
So what do you guys think about Nick? What do you guys think about Nick Chubb? Is it? Would you guys want to hold on to him for the rest of the season, or you guys trade him since Kareem Hunt?
I'll hold on to him this year.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens probably won't survive the rest of this year, to be honest with you. And I think Nick Chubb's issue is Freddie Kitchens' play calling right now. I wish Mike Waller was still here because I'm pretty sure he'd bury Freddie Kitchens as well. So Nick Chubb's a hold for me. I don't think you're going to get the value that you want for him anyway. So he's definitely a hold. I'm not too worried about Kareem Hunt going forward. So
okay.
Yeah. The more I'm getting information on the guy on his roster here, the more and more I'm leaning towards Littleton. He's also got Kyler Murray, Kittles, James White, Terry McLaurin to go with McCaffrey, DJ Moore.
That is a crazy team. That is one wild team right there. Congratulations, man. What's up, W? So number 4 is what? Austin Eckler, I believe.
Yeah, you can interchange Eckler and Jones.
Okay. Yeah. So last night, I believe he scored again, and I would like to see how many touches he's gained so far. How many games has Melvin Gordon been back so far? Is it 4 or 5 games?
6, I believe. Okay. I think he's had 6 games back now. I don't know if you count the first 3 because they're pretty not good.
Yeah, I mean, wow, it's Eckler's touches are really falling down. So last night he only got 8 touches, and then hold on, guys, I'm sorry. Can you give me 1 second? My dog is making noises. Then
You're fine.
Get him over to the other side real quick.
Hopefully he's back soon because I would like to wrap this up because I know for Nate, when he edits this, he probably wants to keep it under the 2-hour mark. That's typically the easiest.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, the touches that Austin Eckler is getting is really, really starting to worry me. Last night he got 8. The week before was 16. The week before was only 6 touches, and then the week before was 15. So it's looking like a touchdown or bust. So trade him. But I think that if someone's not paying attention to his touches, you have a good chance of getting some value back in return. But if someone is paying attention to his low volume of touches, then it might be a concern. But go ahead and do it as soon as possible before that trade deadline hits. But if it's dynasty, I would hold on to Austin Eckler 100,000% because Melvin Gordon is most likely not going to be there next year.
And that is speaking of not being there next year, we are going to wrap this up and head on out of here. 30 seconds there, LA. What do you got to say?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for letting me join you guys. It was awesome to finally meet you guys. Face to face via internet and stuff. Hopefully we can do this again. And I want to, it was awesome. And I really appreciate the opportunity and best of luck on your matchups this week because it's a really important week.
Hollywood, you got 10 seconds.
Follow me on DFF, Dynasty Football Factory, and on my podcast, IDP Nation. A guest host on Sunday morning sit start. So, if you follow Dingus, he's a good guy. If you follow Dougie, he's a good guy. You usually can find me. So hit me up there. I'm on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah, I'll be following you guys.
For the Rider Digest Network, My Fantasy League and Statement Games, for Oklahoma Dougie and Mike Wallert, who aren't here, and Nate the Cheat, who is not here tonight. We got Lamont, we got Hollywood, we got Dingus 4, and we are out of here.
Bye, guys.